and the preferred professionals that we trust. Be part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation,
all right, Ms. Sharon, 15 seconds here.
One of the dedicated.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Real estate
loud and clear.
Your real estate needs. You can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And hello to all my South Shore neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara, and you are, of course, listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable here on WATD. Looks like I'm a little bit solo right now, but my team is actually very tied up right now. We just received... we're dealing with 40 offers on one of our properties. So we are doing our best to get back to all of the agents that we trust. And I think that you can still hear me, right? With 40 offers on one of our properties.
Okay, a little bit of a reverb going on.
Best to get back to all of the agents. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, perfect. So I will get back on track. So again, you are listening to Talk Real Estate here on WATD, and looks like Melissa Wallace has joined me, and we have our team working on, we just accepted offers. We were just going over offers, 40 offers on one of our properties from this past weekend, and holy moly, Batman. So Mary is making some phone calls right now to some agents who did that. But that has nothing to do with our show tonight. Tonight, our conversation, I actually called in with Rob and Lisa this morning. I haven't talked to them in a while. And we talked, what I just told them we were going to discuss is, what is the difference between this and that? So a lot of times people will ask us different questions on, you know, hey, what's the difference between a cape, a colonial, a ranch, and what are the different types of roofs? A hip roof, a gambrel, a gable, a dormer, what's an A-frame, salt box? Do you know the difference between a SOAR, a town SOAR, private SOAR, town water, private water, sidings? All kinds of things are going on. So we have this or that. If you have a question for us, Ben is in studio, so he can answer. He can get you over to us and we will give you an answer. So if you have a this or that type question for us, or anything that deals with real estate, we're here to serve you tonight on Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Hello, Melissa.
Hi. It sounds a little different in my ears. It just feels like it's so quiet.
I know, doesn't it? I know. That he stopped the music and I was like, am I on right now? But we are on. And the phone number to WATD is 781-837-4900. Again, 781-837-4900. You can also go on to my Facebook page, which is Sharon Costa McNamara. You can follow us there, or of course on McNamara Broker Team. You can find us there, or any of the Connect pages, because I am the founder of all of those. We have Pembroke Connect, Hanover Connect, Marshfield Connect, Situate Connect, Dorchester Connect, you name it, they're out there. You can find us on all those pages too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
Right, perfect.
We're there.
All right. Awesome. We had a really great show last week. You want to give our listeners just sort of like a recap of our show last week while I open my
Your bubbly?
My bubbly.
Yeah. So last week we were joined by Chris Devon. He is the branch manager, loan officer, all that fun stuff over at Cross Country Mortgage. Their office is located in Norwell, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went there one time for a little, little rendezvous. Yeah. This was before COVID. Yes. I hope they started those up again.
When you could sit next to a stranger on a couch and not feel weird about it.
Yeah. But yeah, Chris, Sharon has known Chris for many years, and you know, they've both been in this business for a long time, and we sort of just talked about what's going on. You know, we always give our perspective from, you know, listing agent or a buyer's agent, and he sort of was like, hey, I'm working with all these people too, you know, these are my clients putting in offers on properties, and sort of strategizing a little bit, and it sort of charmed a couple people who were listening.
Yes, we had some listeners last week. I know that Laurie was listening. Laurie Campbell, I think she gave her name last week, right?
Yep.
She was listening in, and she actually went online afterwards, and she actually put all her information in. She got a pre-approval with Chris Devon last week. And also since then, I've actually referred him to somebody else and introduced him. And on Mother's Day, he responded and said, hey, very nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And here's what you do and what you have to do to get a loan.
Yeah, so he is super responsive. I was gonna say responsible. I'm sure he is responsible as well.
Responsible.
Yeah. Oh, and then we have Mary. Hello, Mary.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
Mary's with us now. But yeah, Chris, it was great. I actually reached out to Chris after the show and just let him know that we had some agents from our office listening and they wanted to continue on with the conversation. So Chris is going to either come into the office one day or do a Zoom and sort of do like a talking session or like a training session with our agents. So,
Talking session.
like a talking because it's more like learning. Some agents didn't know some of the things that they offer over at Cross Country, and it's important to have agents know, because a lot of clients are going to their agents and being like, oh, who should I get a pre-approved with,
like, or what strategies do I have? So
obviously knowing somebody who is sort of diverse in that language and field would be good. So it was a great show. I think it was a great show.
It was a great show. I thought so too. And I was just going on to Facebook. So if you have any questions on Facebook, you can go on there, and Melissa and I and Mary will be watching to see if you have any questions. Again, you can go to Sharon Costa McNamara, where we are live, or McNamara Broker Team as well. I believe we're going to be going on there. So you can follow along with our conversation. And again, if you have any questions for us, again, it can really be about anything, but we have been talking about the market and how crazy it is for so long that I'm almost like,
we need something a little bit lighter today.
Yeah, like, is everybody
if anybody
sick
can
of it?
See me on Facebook, I look a haggard mess.
It's been tough out there for sure. And two, I mean, we had, like I said, these 40 offers on this one property, and the prices, they're all very strong offers. And I just feel, I wish I could call each and every one of the buyers and just say, your agent did a great job. For the most part,
there might have been one or two.
There was one or two, but I mean, listen, if you don't pay attention to the directions, if you don't submit a full, we've said it over and over, be prepared when you want to put in an offer, because you can't give me an
Half a
offer
package
without a pre-approval letter. So, I mean, that just isn't going to work. So that's
unless
where we
you're
are.
doing cash.
Of course, yes. Then we need proof of funds.
Yeah. So there's some still, some agents that need to learn a few things. So if you'd like to join our mentoring program, you can give me a call at 781-826-8000.
And on the other note of that
good segue.
I talked to some great agents out there. So, we had a lot of agents, from the Boston area that brought their clients in, and it was good. It was tough competition with 40 offers, but tonight is about what is the difference between this and that.
I feel like we had a button at one point.
Oh yeah.
Remember we had a button that we played a fun game way back in the day at WATD, where it was like renovating this or that. Would you do this or would you do that?
Oh yeah.
I feel like we need to replicate that.
I feel like it was the no button.
Yeah.
And there was a yes button too. No, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This or that.
Well,
okay. I digress.
All right.
We're doing a this or that type thing today.
What's the difference? Question mark, exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be talking about what's the difference. So, a lot of the times, especially when we're doing open houses, I feel, buyers are coming in. If they don't have their agent, they're asking, the person who's doing the open house, is this, what type of heating system is this? What siding is this? What is it, private septic or is it town septic? A lot of people from the city don't know about private septic. So I know we talked about that a couple of weeks ago with Shane. But let's sort of start. Oops, I left something on there from last week. So let's start with the different styles of homes. So Mary, here's a question for you. When you're sitting there, all right, don't look like stunned. I'm supposed to ask you questions.
You are. I thought you were going to go for Sharon first.
No. So I'm thinking, okay, you're having a buyer consultation. Obviously, or I feel as though you would ask, what style home would you be looking for? Do you ever get sort of I don't really know what style home, I don't know the difference. How do you explain a difference in the style homes to your buyers?
That's a great question.
Thank you. I came up with it all on my own.
So when we sit down with our buyers, I would say, I don't necessarily approach it as like, is there any style that you like, what are you looking for in a style for a house? It's more like, is there anything that sticks out to you when you're looking at a home? Like, do you like 2-level? Do you like single level? Do you like, if the gentleman or the woman is taller, how do you feel about a Cape style house? Because in some Cape styles houses, especially older ones in New England, you have really slanted roofs, like a straight A-frame. So it doesn't give you a lot of headroom.
I think
upstairs.
it's roofs.
Roofs,
Not roofs.
roofs.
Those are hooves.
It's going to be a flurry of misspeaking tonight, and I'm telling
Roofs.
I don't think we know what sleep is anymore.
you. No,
Roofs, I know. We were here late last night.
we were all just plugging away. But it's more, and then I follow up that question. Okay, is there any style of house that you vehemently hate? Because people have a visceral reaction to certain style houses, and they're like, I will not look at X, Y, and Z.
But how do you feel about that? I mean, because honestly, what does everybody say? They don't like what type of a house?
Split entry raised ranch.
Yeah, everybody says it, but we've sold quite a few of them.
But see, I think those people that we sell them to don't have a visceral reaction to them. And my advice is always to not eliminate based on the style.
Yeah.
Because you never know what the feel of the house is going to be when you get into it. And every house is created differently. But certainly like functionality wise, it depends a lot on the buyer's specific wants, needs, and desires. But if they're a larger, like,
I feel like you're stuttering and you're not, but like,
I'm sure you're probably imagining it. And so am
it's
I.
probably me in my head, the way I'm processing. Sorry.
But so if you're, somebody who has trouble with your knees, or like me, I would love to live in a ranch. I hate stairs. I absolutely
Really?
I hate them. I mean, I like to go. Do you know how many times I've almost fallen up these stairs and down these stairs?
I almost tripped up the stairs. And
I
I
heard
turned
you.
around and Mark's just staring at me. And I was like, I almost fell up the stairs. He goes, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I noticed.
But it's so somebody might be looking for something that's single level, based off of, where they're at in their life, or just because that's something that they prefer, or they might want all the bedrooms on the second floor. So that has a lot to do with style. It's more lifestyle, I guess. So,
and I think too, I've said to people, and actually I called in this morning and I got a chance to talk to Rob and Lisa just to sort of promote our show for tonight. And that is one of the things that I said was, everybody tells us that they don't like a raised ranch. I feel bad for the raised ranch. It's like, you know what I mean? Like there's always, the one in the family that, that nobody likes, right? Everybody knows which one it is. And it's not me and my family, by the way, Dad. So my dad listens every week. But I think that the way that styles change, there are a lot of people, one, that had changed and cosmetically updated, had done some renovations, taken down some walls. And when they're building new construction, like one of our agents, we were actually her buyer's agent when Michelle bought her house, she bought a raised ranch and it's open and it's beautiful.
I think there's a big difference between your renovated anything. So in New England, we tend to have a lot of older homes just based off of when our area was developed and our communities were founded. So there's a big difference between going into something that maybe hasn't been renovated or updated and something that has. So like mine is very closed, I would think.
Well, and that's the thing too, like the style of your house, you almost appreciate what it is because it is that farmhouse style where that's how that's what people like. And they love that old charm of each room sort of being sort of individualized. But think about like now with COVID, it sort of came in pretty handy that
the more rooms, the better now.
Yeah. And away from each other. Right. Because then you could,
social distance if you had COVID.
Well, just, you would have time if you were on the phone, Melissa at one point was working from home and, Sam was working from home. So all of you sort of had your separate areas. So it worked out well. When you have an open floor plan, that doesn't work so well.
Yeah. Where do you hide?
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I mean, I was even talking with, the clients earlier before, your meeting started with them, is like, she was saying, my dishwasher at the new place, I can't, it's on back order, and my couch is on back order. And it's like, yeah, because people have been home and they're realizing, well,
My couch isn't comfortable.
My couch isn't comfortable. My dishwasher has this loud noise, like, so it's whatever. But okay, we're going back to what the difference is. Okay. So can you guys tell me the difference between a cape and a colonial? Okay.
You want me to?
Here we go.
Since you own a cape, yes.
Yeah. So I live in a Cape style house. I love a cape because I love the charm of a Cape style home. And I actually have recently been a little bit addicted to this one builder just because I can't believe I've been in real estate this long. And we have that listing down in Plymouth, and he told me that it was a Royal Barry Wills, architect. And he was a famous architect back in the 50s. And he did a lot of Cape style homes, sort of like that Cape that you could see like the breezeway off to the side. And then like the two car attached garage, but with like the side entry, very what you would close your eyes and picture a house to look like down the Cape.
Yeah.
But generally in the Cape style house, there were a lot of times where there was one bedroom always on the first floor.
Yep.
And upstairs, a lot of the Capes, when they were being built, they were never finished. So do you ever notice like in Braintree, I just think of Braintree off the top of my head, or Weymouth, some of those, the ones that were built in the 1950s, they didn't have, upstairs was never finished. And a lot of that had to do with wartime, that when people went off to war, they just, the husbands went off and they just sort of lived on the first floor, and upstairs was mostly for storage.
Interesting.
Then they started doing some renovations, but then when they did the renovations, they didn't even do like full walls at the top of the stairs. But then you must go into some of the Capes when you walk up the stairs and you can almost tell that there's a door jamb there.
Yeah.
So there was a door there at one time because it was basically all storage. And then you usually had the front to back rooms on each side. And sometimes if you were lucky, you had the bathroom, a small bathroom right in front of you.
Yeah.
And usually there are peaks, in the front. So it matters. You could have like dormered windows in the front of your Cape. And then you would have like storage underneath in the eaves, where the colonial is more, box, where the 4 bedrooms are on top, or the 3 bedrooms are 100% on top of the rooms on the bottom.
Yeah. My mother's parents, so my granddad still lives in his Cape in Situate. And in growing up, they have a first floor bedroom, but they never used it as a bedroom. And growing up, I never knew that it was a bedroom because it was always the den, because they had a formal living room in the front. Then they had the dining room, kitchen, and they had a breakfast room, and then 2 bedrooms up, and then the bathroom right as you walk up the kitchen. But they also had a bathroom on the first floor. But I never knew that it was a bedroom until like I started working in real estate, and then I realized, oh, it has a full-size closet in it, and okay, and then you're supposed to have a bedroom on the first floor, and they're like, oh yeah, this is a 3-bedroom house. I'm like, I always thought it was a 2-bedroom house, and it was just like too big for a 2-bedroom house. Like, it's just bizarre.
And that's the other thing too, though, like when we're talking about this and that, I mean, the big fallacy is that you have to have that closet on the in the room to make it a bedroom. That is not true, because it has to be, and I recently looked this up for somebody, it has to be 70 square feet of space. There has to be a door and then a window.
Yep.
So a form of egress and then something to enter in. So you don't necessarily even need to have that. It's nice to have it though. It certainly makes it feel more like a bedroom when you have a closet in it, for sure.
When you think back in the day, you used to use like an armoire instead of a closet.
Well, my point was, you don't really need a closet to hang your clothes in a den.
In a den.
So you don't really ever realize. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sort of sense that this like should be a bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, it just
what did
never
they keep
occurred-
in it?
I have to ask my mom. I have to ask my mom. I know she's listening. So what do they keep in the closet? I know.
What do they keep in the den?
In
Yeah,
the den
in the
closet. Yeah.
In the den
In the
closet.
closet? You want to
Because
know what's in the closet? I thought we wanted to see what the den was.
But what she's saying is like, she never, like when she
The
thought about it
movies, the
afterwards, she's
movies
like,
go in there.
oh yeah, why would they have a closet in a den?
All the toys,
Yeah.
the movies,
The toys.
I
And
think my
games.
mama's
games.
coat was in there. She had a really nice mink coat. I think my mama's coat was in there. Yeah, I don't remember what was in there.
That's funny.
but,
Well,
yeah.
it was a 3-bedroom. So there you go. And that's in Situate?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Nice.
Granddad, want to put your house on
Yeah,
market?
I know. Oh my God. Do you know how much you could get for that thing right now? So
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my mom's texting me.
and is she answering?
Yeah. Oh, she said it's actually a 4-bedroom. Megan's room upstairs was actually 2 bedrooms. They took a wall down. I always forget about that. All of grandma's handbags, and there's a safe in there. Yeah, now that she says that, yes. So upstairs there were actually 3 bedrooms. So it's a 4-bedroom Kate.
Yeah.
And they took a wall down because my cousin was living with them for a while.
It's time to sell. We have some buyers. We have some buyers.
All right. So tell me the difference between a raised ranch and a front to back split.
You want to take that?
Want me to take it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So a raised ranch sometimes is called a split level. So a raised ranch would be the style of home when you walk in the front door, you're on a little platform and you can usually take about 5 steps to go up and 5 steps to go down. And usually on the lower level, you have full-sized windows that are down there. Some can be walkout, but that is all really dependent on the land. But usually in the front of the house, it is all above grade. So a lot of people think that they can count that if they have a bedroom down there, that or a room that they're using as a bedroom, they're saying that they can count that as a bedroom. But an appraiser, if we have any of our appraisers listening to us, I'm sure that they could call in and tell us that they will not count that as a bedroom because 1 step down from the front door threshold is now considered something different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, agree.
And then and then usually when you go upstairs, in front of you is usually a kitchen. To the left, you have like the living room, and off of that is a dining room, and then usually 3 bedrooms on the right-hand side with another full bath. With a front to back split, when you walk in the house, and let's just say we go in the side, because I don't know why I feel like I always go into the side door. You're usually in the kitchen, and then you go a little bit further and into a dining room, and some of them are open all the way and some of them are closed off. We just sold one on Indian Trail in Pembroke recently. And then there's probably like 4 or 5 steps that go up to another level, like that you can see. And it's usually like not lofted, but there's a railing there. So like you're overlooking your living room. A lot of them had fireplaces at the end. And then there's the 3 bedrooms that are generally up there with a full bath. And then those also have a basement, but they're not open the same way that the raised ranch is. So some of them do have it open, which is nice. I know Sam had one recently.
Yeah, in
And-
Highland.
Yeah, on
That's the
Highland. And that's really nice. I
Mhm.
mean, the way that they opened that up and the really wide staircase going upstairs because you get that extra space downstairs. Again, don't make it a bedroom because 1 step down from the front door threshold is going to be valued at a different value.
So maybe the major difference between a raised ranch and a split entry is when you go into a raised ranch, you're kind of walking into almost like a small little foyer area
Yeah.
with steps immediately up and steps
Mhm.
immediately down. And then typically when you go into your split entry, right, you're on the first level.
You're on the first level.
And then you go up a couple steps. So like if you entered from the front, you might be in the living room, dining, kitchen area. So you're on grade basically. And then you go up a couple for your bedrooms and you back towards the back of the house, you can go down as
Mhm.
well.
Yep.
So that's how I've always remembered it.
And they are doing such a nice job with them now. Like before, I hope that maybe Sam took like some before and after pictures of that
Oh,
renovation.
he might have some.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
was, yeah.
Yeah,
he
that
might
would be a
have
good
some.
blog for him to do. You know what I mean? Like the difference between, what it looked like before. Then that's what I mean when you're working with buyer clients. It's like, don't discount anything because anything goes and just the way that renovations are being done. And too, they did a really nice job opening up that kitchen area with a nice big island and everything in there.
That wasn't the kitchen before either. The
Was-
kitchen was in the basement.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, yeah,
I've
no.
never seen that before.
I never saw it in person, but they moved the kitchen upstairs. And I think it was,
I think, I remember him
think
saying that.
maybe a dining room or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Put that way.
We could go on and on about different styles homes, but we only have a few. We have 20 minutes left.
Do you want to give the phone number?
And
In case anyone- we have
sure.
any callers?
If you want to call into the studio, it is 781-837-4900. If you have any questions about real estate or just want to chat and say hi, give us a call. So let's go to styles of roofs.
Mhm.
Roofs.
Let's go to roofs.
Sorry.
Roofs. Okay. So Sharon, I put this because you had it in your little notes there. So we have hip roof, hip and valley, gambrel, gable, Do you know the differences? Because I really don't.
Well, I gave you my chart and I
Yeah.
don't know what you did with the
Oh,
chart.
I can
It's
go
up on
get
your
it.
desk. No, it's all right. We can just wing it. I mean, we know a little bit more than everyone listening, but maybe not, because we have a lot of builders who actually listen to us. So with the roofs, there are different. Go ahead.
I have a question. What is a garrison?
A garrison. Oh, a garrison is a style of a colonial, but the second floor sort of protrudes out over the front, like the bottom level. So like the first floor.
Yep.
So there's the first floor, and then there's obviously a second floor, and the second floor overhangs over the first floor.
Mhm.
So kind of like when you're looking at it from the front, your raised ranch, but your bedrooms are still on the second floor, like a colonial. You know how
Yeah.
you look at a raised ranch and it kind of juts out a little bit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what a garrison is.
Excellent.
Garrison
Mhm.
colonial.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
what's a gambrel? Let's go there.
What's a
Sharon.
gambrel?
Oh,
Sharon.
geesh. A gambrel is, well, I would call that
It's
a cape,
it's
a
a-
style
it's
of cape,
with
but
a
it's
different
actually
style
the
roof,
style
right?
of roof. Yes.
Yeah. So, what's the gambrel style of roof? Explain that.
I need my little checklist, I
Okay,
guess.
I'll go
but,
get it.
but I know, yeah, I think the gambrel one is straight up and like that. Is it? Well, I'll tell you what a hip roof is. That one is sort of like flat. I can't really explain them really, like without, if you can see me, I'm drawing it. But this is hard to do, like to try to explain
It's
it.
it's almost flat on four sides.
Yeah. And then it sort of, seems
Whereas-
weird on top.
Well, so it's flat on four sides and then more pronounced on
Octagonish,
yeah.
right? Don't you think? Sort of, I don't know.
We're not
Maybe we
doing it.
should have a builder that comes on with us to sort of explain all of these. But I did have something printed out earlier. So I thought,
Stonebridge, if you're listening, call us.
yeah, I
Owen.
know. If somebody could, hey, well, you know what? While she's looking for that, why don't we put her on the spot? All right. So here, let's move over to
Sewer.
Yeah, sewer. So the difference between town sewer and private sewer. Why don't you take it?
So town would be kind of just as it seems when you're connected to the actual town sewage system and you're paying a bill for said sewage system to the town. And then private septic or private sewer is when you have an actual sewage system located on your property. So ergo, you don't pay anything to the town because they're not providing you any type of service. There's no water flow that you're paying for. But it is kind of like another system of the house, another mechanical system that you should maintain and take care of and will need repair and replacement. That's kind of my thought.
Yeah.
Any more to add on that?
No, I mean, some towns and cities have, the town sewer, which is nice, but they do have a fee for that, for that process.
Yeah, you pay that to the town.
Yeah, you pay that to the town. And then, anything sort of goes with those, and people tend to, flush anything and push anything they can down the drain. You know what I mean? So
Flushable wipes.
yeah, flushable
wipes
wipes
are not flushable.
Yeah, ask the
It's a
plumber that I'm
conundrum.
married to. But with the private sewer, you do definitely have to be careful. So there are a lot of people that do come here from the city, and they're like, "You have a private septic system. I don't get it." And too, knowing what is the difference. And we did talk about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago with Shane McGlone, who is a sanitarian, aka a septic engineer. But the different types is there's a cesspool, there's a tight tank, there's the whatever gravity fed system. So there are different types of systems as well. With the roof thing, you want me to go back to that?
Yeah.
So I can't really explain it other than showing it. So
I
it's really
know.
the different type. It's like the roof type is really
Like peaks
and valleys. And
valleys.
like the
The
butterfly.
butterfly would never work here.
No, because your snow would just like be piled up on top there.
What about an M shape? Like,
Yeah.
where are these even? Like,
I don't even know where that is, but the salt box it's almost like a colonial in the back.
Yep.
So it's, the room, you don't have the, like the vault in the front, like a cape, which is why a lot of people put the dormers in the cape, because it gives them a little more room to
Headroom.
open it up. Flat roofs don't work well around here. And, this pyramid, I never even heard of that type. Oh, and that's how the gazebo, the hexagonal hexagonal gazebo.
Gazebo, hexagonal gazebo.
Yeah, an open gable. So anyways, you can Google that just like I did.
So that was a great section of our show.
Guys,
So-
you're gonna have to forgive us for tonight because we
Oh,
are
we
all
are
just
exhausted.
very, very tired. It's
Yeah.
been a long
I'm
weekend.
thinking about dinner.
Me too. I was just
I
thinking
have
that.
no idea. I don't think I've food shopped in 2 months, but
It's Tuesday and
I'll
I
figure
will
it
be
out.
drinking wine this evening.
You're listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable with the McNamara clan here, Mary Baker, and Melissa Wallace. That's who we are. And we're a little punchy tonight, but
please hire us.
yeah, I know. But we're talking about this or that, just different types of things that come up in questions. And yeah, I mean, different questions that
Wait,
come up.
So okay, so we talked about sewer. We're dropping the roofs.
They're not hooves.
Okay, talk about different types of siding. So vinyl siding versus wood siding sounds pretty simple, but what's the difference?
One's wood and one's vinyl.
Okay, so but what
Yeah,
does that mean?
What's what?
What difference between vinyl and wood siding?
And
What do you mean? What's the different other than the
other
obvious?
than the
What
obvious?
is-
That's what I'm
is
saying. Like
maintenance?
one is from a tree and one is
Plastic.
wherever.
Why would you prefer one over the other? This or
Wow.
that?
Maintenance.
Yes, thank
Maintenance,
you, ladies, for getting
yes.
on the page.
Yeah. And there's, you know,
Stains,
they have
colors,
different types of
different
the shingles, right?
Impressions.
Impression. Yep. You saw that in my notes.
Yeah, I did.
The cedar impression. So it looks like it might be cedar, but
Mhm.
If it looks like cedar.
So there's
Yeah.
there's an aesthetic.
Can
There's
you
an
paint
aesthetic
vinyl?
version? I think you can. I
would
think
you want to?
no. So there's an aesthetic version to your vinyl, your wood, your cedar impression shingles, your cedar actual shingles, right? Because those are wood.
Mhm.
But there's also a maintenance difference. So your woods you have to either stain or paint
Mhm.
and make sure that they're protected from the elements. Whereas your vinyl, the quote is vinyl. You wrap your house in vinyl and you hope to not have to worry about it anymore.
With wood, you have to think about rot.
Yeah.
Wood rot.
absolutely.
There was literally a gentleman at my house this morning changing out wood rot
Mhm.
because
Yeah, I
it's something
saw
that
him.
hasn't been done in
Well, a
some
lot
time.
and then with progression, I mean, there's a lot of houses, like we changed out all of our trim on our house. When we had to do that, we did all PVC trim. So that's something that you don't have to ever paint because we did white. So you don't have to paint it and there's really no maintenance to it. And so long as it's put on correctly, I suppose. Right.
Mhm.
And then there's the hardy plank, which people put
That's the cement, right?
the cement
board.
cement board that they'll put on the front of the house. I think hardy plank is like Kleenex, right? It's really just the name, the brand of a tissue.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm.
Yeah.
Chapstick.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, where
yeah.
are you going with Kleenex? How is there? It's not a wood.
Blows in the wind. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, but when everything first came out, there was definitely, I remember there were some condos down in Plymouth. And when that first wave of hardy plank came through, they had some issues because it wasn't installed right. And then they ended up with mold issues and things like that.
You actually have to specialize in
Mm.
installing hardy plank board, which I didn't realize until recently.
Yeah. I
You have to
bet.
like actually take a whole course and be a representative for the certain type of.
Well, that's good because
certain
it's
type of
very
installer.
expensive. So you want to make sure that it's being installed
Yeah.
the right
Mhm.
way. Then the other thing is I was going to say about how things are, the other, like the decks, we had a lot of wood decks
Composite.
and then we had the composite, but the same thing with the composite decking, Trex decks, right? That's that's again, a Kleenex thing, right? It's really called Trex. It's really called composite. When that first came out, we got that. So that was probably like 15 years ago. That's when it was really first becoming popular. And the stuff we got like had mold spurs like stuck in it. So
Well, so you got one of the first versions of it, right? So now the newer composite is more, the way they install it is just completely different. And it's just probably a better quality material, but with everything, you grow and learn, and
Well, that's nice.
that's our siding spiel.
Sharon, do you want to get into wainscoting versus beadboard? Because I feel like that was what
sort of prompted it.
that
yeah.
prompted this.
Oh, how
Oh.
did that come up as a conversation?
Well, because I was looking at it again, not listing, I sort of just gave a sort of a little tidbit of why I'm so excited about this. So I started doing some research on this I want to say Royal Dane, but that is not it. It's Royal Barry Wills. And I've bought books. And there's one actually that came the other day
I saw
and
that.
it's on my it's up on my thing
This is a new listing we have where?
down in Plymouth.
It was
Two Pine Needle.
Oh,
He's
I
the
didn't
one,
realize.
yeah, that was the architect, and I'm just really into it, and I'm really enjoying it. And so that house had
Beadboard.
no,
No, it had wainscoting.
No.
No, it has what? Are you talking about the living room?
Yeah,
Oh,
beadboard.
it's beadboard. Yeah.
It has beadboard. So
That's
I'm
what
sorry,
she
I
said.
got a
You
headache.
said no. That's
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I
it
have a
has
headache. I
beadboard.
don't think I've eaten yet today. But yes, it is beadboard. So beadboard is when they take the wood and like it's big slats of wood and they put it up vertically on the wall.
Mhm.
And then they connect it that way. Really wish we had a contractor on with us tonight. And
So
that,
people would also call that paneling.
no, because
No,
it's different.
This
No.
isn't
Paneling
wood
is
paneling
thin.
walls.
Paneling is like a thin piece of like
These are thicker.
plywood. This is real wood.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but I have gone into houses and in my head, it's a wood panel. I guess it's wood, but people will call it paneling. Like I want to
Yeah,
take down the
so-
wood paneling.
Then you have to tell them that's beadboard.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So beadboard is when it's made out of actual wood.
Individual slices of wood. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
not called slices, but if anybody wants
Pieces.
to correct us, please call us 781-837-4900.
Someone help us.
Put us in our place. But a
Yeah,
piece of wood.
So when you were doing the open house at Pine Needle, I was there and there was a couple that came through and asked if you knew what was behind that. So you knock on it. What's behind it? You open the little latch at the bottom of next to the yeah, like to see if there's if there's what it's connected to. The wood has to be connected to something. Is
Kicking
it?
us off the stage?
No, we have been sitting here mumbling about things that we really don't know. We've just been having a good time here. So they wanted to know because they were curious, because if they had the option to take it off if they wanted to, or if they could paint it. Or I'm trying to move on with the show here, ladies. So. So
We just
where-
lost our whole audience.
do we have one tonight?
Mary's like, we're getting kicked off the show. Was Ben just gonna push a button and suddenly no one's listening anymore because you guys have lost your minds?
You've lost your mind. Anyways,
To
so
our listeners, I apologize, but Melissa made me laugh because I didn't do that.
she did. She's like, let me figure that out for you. And then open the little latch at the bottom of the next to the fireplace. And
I don't even know what I was listening for.
well, I thought about that too. I was like, well, it all sounds the same. It's like, what are you looking for? A stud? Like, it's a piece of wood. I'm looking for a stud. Stud.
Hey, wasn't that our UPS driver the other day or our FedEx guy?
Oh yeah, no, the UPS guy
There's your
yesterday.
stud.
We were just having a conversation, then all of a sudden I go, you know what? The UPS guy today was delicious looking. So that brightened my day. I was hoping he'd drop by again today. So somebody order something, please. All right, let's move on to fixture. What's a fixture?
So
What's
let's tell
not a
everybody.
fixture?
So the name of this show is not Talk Real Estate Roundtable. So yeah, someone's going to tell Ed Perry on us and we're going to get kicked off our own show. I know. This is what happens when you get 40 offers on one property and you have to put them all together. Anyways, in one night. No, so I was sort of looking, what I was doing is because I really did not know the answer. I was like, oh, so I know that these are individual wood pieces,
Mhm.
right? So like you were going to say paneling, but wood panels, right? So
Yeah.
each one was individual. When I was knocking on it, I was hoping that I would hear if it was hollow behind it. Like, is it just the wood is attached or is it on sheetrock?
But
And
it's
I-
on sheetrock.
And when I knocked on it immediately, I said,
Why am I doing this? Were you thinking that someone's going to say, come in? You did open the door afterwards.
I did. There was a little cubby underneath, but I went in there and I was like, oh, wow, I can see back here.
Like
Like
drywall.
I still don't know.
We still don't know.
Okay,
But
so
that's okay.
it's just a wood panel. And then, so what's wainscoting?
No, let's go back to paneling because you brought that up. So paneling looks like the individual wood panels,
But they're not.
but it's
not-
one
it's like
big
plastic.
sheet.
It's a piece of sheet. So if you go like this,
It's not plastic.
it makes that
It's-
noise.
Some
What
of
is
them
it?
are wood. I don't know. I think they like if you get them wet though, they get sawdusty.
So
I
it
used
made
to have
it
a
made
friend
out of
who lived
particle
in a
board?
raised ranch.
I wish that Steve Cook was listening right now and could save.
He would not be.
Save.
He would not be
I need
proud.
an SOS. I need a white flag. Save our souls.
Can we talk about fixtures?
Hey, let's see if
We
anyone
have a
wants to
few more
call
minutes.
us. Maybe somebody can ask us a question that we can answer intelligently. 781-837-4900. We'll give you a $25 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts if you can save us from this mess right now. You're listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am Sharon McMarimo here with Melissa Wallace and Mary Baker. We are all full-time agents and more at Boston Connect Real Estate, and we are servicing all of the South Shore, Boston, South Coast, all of those areas. And if you want to sell your house, now is the time because.
Since we only have a couple more minutes, let's go on to heating systems versus
Oh.
fixture or not fixture.
All right.
'Cause that's complicated.
All right, fine. The plumber's wife gets to
Oh, and
talk
you
about
know,
the different
if
heating
he's
systems.
listening to this, my dad's gonna yell at me tonight. Like, what were you guys doing? You got way off topic. But it took me forever to to fully understand this. Being married to a plumber, you would think I would have gotten it a lot sooner, but I didn't. So forced hot water and forced hot air. Then there's steam, and then there's all these other things like
Radiant,
radiant.
Radiant.
Yeah, I love my radiant. too.
which steam is confused for radiant quite often in listings
Really? Why?
But isn't
because they think
steam the-
radiators means
Oh,
radiant.
Yeah,
So
steam comes from the radiators.
And radiant is in the floor.
Yes.
And then there's the other one that has that, in a lot of the condos, it has the
Heat pump.
heat pump. Yeah.
So that's electric. Oh, right.
Bump, 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 bump.
It's
Is that electric?
Yeah,
Heat.
it's electric.
Okay.
So the forced hot water is very simple. It's water that gets forced through the system, and that's what creates the heat that comes out of the forced hot water the baseboard water baseboards, right? On the around the floor. And then forced hot air would be the vents that you see. They're usually there's a return where that's usually bigger, and then the little ducts, and sometimes they're in the floor, and that's air. So I always didn't know the difference. I was like, which one is a furnace and which one is a boiler? I'm going to let you ladies discuss it and somebody get back to me. I do know the difference now. Do you?
What? The
What-
difference between
yeah,
a
so
boiler
which one
and
is
a
a-
furnace?
Yeah, which one is a boiler and which one is a furnace? The forced hot water or the forced hot heat? Which one is which?
Forced hot water is a wait, what's the question?
Forced hot water, is that a furnace or a boiler? So I'll go into someone's house and I'll say, oh, I see that you have forced hot water. And they'll be like, yeah, my furnace is in the basement, or my boiler is in the basement. Which one is it?
Furnace. No, it's your boiler. Yes, because we had a boiler in the somewhere I lived, and it had needed to be replaced.
It is a boiler. And
Those things are a beast.
yes. So it's a boiler, and it took me literally forever to get it. And Mark absolutely.
Oh, my mom said boiler. I think my uncle works on boilers. I think that's why
Yay.
she knows that.
Good job, Liz. So the reason Mark's like, Sharon, this is the very last time I am explaining this to you, but what do you do with water when you want to make a cup of tea? I'm
Boil
like,
it.
you boil it. I was like, why didn't you say that 28 years ago? And then a furnace is
Oh,
just,
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So the furnace will have
Boiler
like,
holds water.
Forced hot
Yeah.
water is a boiler.
yeah, because you're boiling water to get through the baseboard
Steam,
to
you would
make
have
the
a
heat.
boiler too, because
Yeah.
it's technically water.
Boiling water to make steam.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
And then the furnace is fire, and it's making it like heat up the air. And that's what I got, folks. So anyways,
So
we
how
have
do you-
we have
so-
another listing coming on the market soon. I
Oh,
can't
okay.
give you the address yet, but it is a beautiful, beautiful house. It's coming on in a couple weeks, and it's going to be on one of the lakes or ponds in the town
Very
of
nice.
Pembroke. Very, very nice. Big surprise. 4 bedrooms. It's gorgeous.
Gorge.
Gorge.
So gorgeous.
It's gorge.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was great of Mark to teach everybody. I'm glad Mark taught our listeners something.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. What else?
Well, so an easy distinction between a forced hot water system or forced hot air system is typically your forced hot water will be in your baseboard. So if you're looking at in any room that you have, your bedroom, if there's like a little strip of heating around the bottom of the base, and then upstairs, well, not upstairs, and then your forced hot air is out of a vent. So like that's your easy
And a
distinction.
lot of
if
times
you have forced hot
people-
air, forced hot water.
Yeah, a lot of times people like the forced hot water for heat because it's moist and it isn't as dry. And if you get bloody noses, like I do probably once or twice a week, the forced hot air is like a little dry. But the positive to having a forced hot air system, and that's HVAC, right, is that you can usually do AC. So
Pretty
it's
easily.
coming from the same place. So your central air conditioning is coming from the same vents as your heat would come from. But if you have forced hot water, you can't push AC out of a baseboard. You have to get a forced hot air system to do just the AC, which
So
is what we have in this building and I have at my house.
I was going to say, so like my house we'd have to add an additional system because I have
Yes.
forced hot water.
Okay.
Now that you all know what we have,
Thank goodness. That
Thanks
this
for
is the end
listening,
of it.
everybody.
Yeah, we're really sorry about tonight. We promise that next week we will be a little bit better, but we had a good time with you tonight. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for us for next week, give us a ring at 781-826-8000. Again, you can get us at bostonconnect.com, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week. Bye, Ben. Hope we don't get fired.